Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama and today I am bringing you Winning with Ease. I want to really quickly apologize for not having a video up yesterday. It was just kind of a really busy day. I had to give a presentation in one of my classes and so I was working on that all day. And it was just difficult when I got back home. I was trying to find a good video to make because, you know, of course I have to go through the replays and such. And or go through games, play games, find people to play against, make sure that we can get the builds down, and then go ahead and play that game as well and cast it. So it just takes a little bit of time, and unfortunately yesterday I was unable to get one out for you, but I will continue to try and get them up daily. So here I am going to be playing against Is Your Darkness, who has helped me out a couple of other videos before. He is a Grandmaster Protoss, and since I'm a Zerg and he's a Protoss, we figured, you know what, instead of us just off-racing to show it, I'll just have him play Protoss and me play Zerg, and then I can show, or he can show you, excuse me, how to take a third properly in the ZVP or the PvZ matchup. So this is going to be with a Stargate opener, and this is just straight out of his mouth. He said, you know what, this is probably the best way to very easily secure a third no matter what, unless they go for some sort of really early preemptive attack, in which case it's fine to stay on two bases. So Stargate apparently is the way, at least in his words. It can just help keep their units at their base, kind of keep them distracted, while in the meantime you do take the third. So we'll just go ahead and watch and kind of see exactly what it does. Really quickly, I want to do the new subscriber shout out. That being said, also somebody was saying that this kind of detracts from it. I do like to show my appreciation to subscribers. If you have a different way you think I could shout it out, if you think, you know what, maybe if you gave a shout out when you are at the end of the game, or maybe if you gave a shout out, you know, possibly let's see, not at the end of the game, but, you know, maybe if it was just like in text form or something like that, maybe that would be best. So, you know, just kind of tell me exactly what you feel is the best way to shout it out, to kind of let you guys know that I do appreciate you for subscribing and for watching my videos. But until we figure out that way, I'm going to go ahead and continue with my old way. So we will go ahead and do this subs to shout right here. Zehenort, Drain on StarCraft, Alex Birkin, Ricky Fang, Matea 28, Tendrils, Steve Huz 99, Moru 0011, Garrett's Gaming, Robert U, Zerath, Michael Burge, Insomnia Toe, Wostigen Buggy, Xmas Skill, Jarrett Zell, Diablos Fucker, Corey Komish, Celeste SSL, Manchild, Matt Nolan, Killswitch, Jesse McCullen 83, and Games with Matt. So thank you guys very much for subscribing, and hopefully you guys have learned stuff. So here he goes ahead and does a little pylon block on the third. You know, if you want to do this, go ahead. It's not too much of a worry. I was going to be taking my third around 26, 27 supply anyways. So really, it'll be completely fine. I'll get my lings out stuff there to deal with it. But yep, so he is just going to be setting up his wall. He did go for the Nexus first in his Forge Fast Expand. And then he got down the forge, the cannon, and now laid the gate, and of course has his probe here to block in case any lings try to come by. So that's a very important thing to note, and I'm not sure that at all levels players really do this. If I were to make, you know, 6-8 lings right now, he doesn't exactly know what's going on over here. Maybe I canceled this and I'm rushing lings. Maybe I didn't even have to get a gas. I just pumped a queen out really quick, and so I could be streaming a lot of lings in right now. And if this probe wasn't here to defend, this is at least a baseline defense to kind of take a little bit of time, allow the cannon to get a couple more shots off, as opposed to my lings just running completely free right into the base, and I could run right past the cannon if I wanted up into the main, or I could just go ahead and get a surround on it. So it's a very, very basic defense until you do get the Zealot out a little bit later. So here he's going to be getting his Cybernetics core. He's taken both of the gases in his main right there. And then, of course, when opening Stargate, you will be taking a third gas. So I believe he takes, okay, so actually 4 gases right here. Nope. Yeah, so he will be taking 4 gases actually, which is a little bit different sometimes. A lot of times with the quadruple gas, you'll see a double Stargate, something like that. But getting the 4 gas actually will allow him to get the Stargate out, as well as starting to get sentries, which will be very important for when he wants to take his third. The other thing that I want to kind of talk about, is when getting that third, you want to be able to secure a nice wall with the third base right here. And the user did request that it would be on Cloud Kingdom, so I'm going to go ahead and show it on Cloud Kingdom. But yes, you want to have a very nice wall to make it extremely difficult for him to push in. Make it so your immortals can outrange his roaches if he goes roach. If he has lings, they won't be able to bypass. You can use force fields to block them off and just really put them in a tough situation. So here you can see he's going to go ahead and start pumping out some sentries. He's got his +1 ground weapons underway, and he's just going to continue to be, of course, pumping out units right here, pumping out probes, and then getting his Stargate up. So with the Stargate up, he will start a Void Ray, and then after the initial Void Ray, you don't need any more. That's a common mistake I'll see a lot of Protoss players make, is they'll make a lot of Void Rays, and then they'll go ahead and try and like do damage with that and really just queue up those Phoenix. Those are so good. You can use the Phoenix to pick things up, pick up the Queens. You can deny scouting. You can pick up the Lings at the watchtowers if you want. You can pick up drones. I mean, just so much. And then, of course, you can have the Void Ray to just sit there and pick away at that. So just so much can be done with that, and it's really a smart play. And here, you'll go ahead and see at the 8-minute mark, he's going to add on 3 additional gateways as well. So this will bring him up to a 4-gate right here with this Void Ray, and then the Phoenix, of course, being chroned out right behind it, so that when, of course, he does get over to my base, and I do see, you know, he has that, so I'll go ahead and start throwing up spores, as you can see right there. So it's not like he's going to be able to do a ton of damage with all of these, but really what's the point of getting all of these air units right here? It's not to do a ton of damage. The point is to allow him to establish a third base, which, as you can see, is going to be going up right now. And, you know, I was even kind of playing knowing he was going to be taking a third base and saying, you know what, I'm still going to go ahead and play this out in a manner where I can go ahead and deny it. But at this point, I'm still just trying to make units, still starting to get my upgrades, getting my +1, getting my speed, stuff like that. And then, of course, he has thrown a robotics facility down right behind this, so that he can start pumping out immortals. And it looks like he was a tiny bit supply blocked. So that's okay though. But yeah, so he's going to go ahead and get immortals out right behind this. So now he has these sentries, and here is the wall that I am talking about. This is so good to have with the cannon right behind it. It makes it extremely difficult for a Zerg player to really do damage. So now he's going to try and poke over at my third, do some damage. I think he'll actually be able to like kill the queen because I only have that spore collar. I should probably put another one up over here. So he'll be able to do, you know, just tiny bits of damage like this. And then in the meantime, of course, have all of these units here. These sentries for force fields, and then he can start moving over with the immortals and pumping out some more units additionally from the gateways that he has thrown down. And there we go. So doing whatever damage that he can, gonna pick up some roaches, do some damage, and now I've moved out with my forces. My forces are probably halfway across the map, and there they are actually. So they're already over here. He really does not have too much, but he's got a couple sentries and an immortal. I have a decent amount of roaches, but with this placement right here, it really makes it difficult for me to engage. I can't get close enough to pick off this immortal right here. I can only stand back and try and pick away at these gateways and really not do too much. I could try and move around, but if I moved around with my roaches, he'd be able to force field right here and kind of trap me. And now he can bring all of his Phoenix back. He can lift off my roaches with this immortal and the warpins. I'm really not going to be able to do too much. So what can I do? I can, you know, deny some gateways right here. I could possibly have tried to like kill the third with those roaches, but I mean I would just be losing so much. The only reason I was really able to get these gateways is because I was kind of backed off here in a place that wasn't as important. But regardless, it really, really is difficult for me to take out the third right there. And just like that, he's able to easily grab a lead. He can restart his wall right here and just really put himself in a fine position. And I can't do too much. He's got enough Phoenix here that he can really start lifting off any sort of roach aggression that starts to head over to that base, of course. Plus with the force fields that he has and the immortals right behind, that's really helpful for him. As you can see, 3 immortals right there. I'm not going to be able to engage that with a roach army whatsoever. And now, of course, he can just poke forward and try and do whatever damage that he can. So I think that's really all that's important in this game. It just kind of continues out from there. He will be getting his robotics bay at this point, as well as throwing down a couple more gates. So there you can see robotics bay, a couple more gates going down. He started blink research, and he should be continuing with his upgrades. He's got +2, and yeah, so he'll probably be starting his +3 fairly shortly as well. But really, it's just going to mass up a nice army. As you can see, that right there is very difficult to deal with. 3 immortals with the sentries, with just that roach, ling army that I do have right there. So He's in a very fine position, can push out to take a fourth once he has some Colossus there, and then of course start working on Mothership. You've already got the Stargate down, so you can throw down your Fleet Beacon whenever you want and get out the Mothership. So I think that's going to be it. Like I said, my name is Mr. Llama. I hope you guys learned something from this, and I will see you guys next time.